Welcome. This is your daily space to explore ideas and improve your English skills. Listening every day will boost your vocabulary, your listening, and your confidence. Make it a habit, and you'll see real progress. Please subscribe and keep learning with us.
You know, we used to see it in sci-fi all the time, right? Machines that could just whip up a meal with the push of a button. Well, that future, it's actually kind of here now. 3D food printers are real, and they're changing things. But I think the big question for a lot of us isn't just how they work. It's more like, can they actually make something that tastes, well, good, delicious? So today on the deep dive, we're going to cut through some of the hype around 3D printed food, give you the real story. We'll look at the tech, really focus on taste and texture, what's it like right now, and explore the future possibilities, which are pretty amazing. Think of this as your quick guide, your shortcut to understanding this whole field. It's moving fast. So let's start at the beginning. We've all seen 3D printers making little plastic things, right? How does that actually work with food? What's the basic idea?
Yeah, that's a great place to start. It helps clear things up. Fundamentally, a 3D food printer is a machine that builds dishes layer by layer. It uses food ingredients almost like an edible ink. And it follows a digital design, a blueprint on a computer. But it's not just stacking things up. These machines are getting smarter. They can, heat things precisely or cool them or even dry them out as the food is being made.
Wow. Okay. Edible ink.
Exactly. And there are a few main ways they do this. The most common one is extrusion. That's where paste-like ingredients like chocolate, doughs, maybe veggie purees get pushed out through a tiny nozzle. It lets you make lines, build structures.
Okay, like piping icing, but automated.
Sort of, yeah, but much more precise. Then there's something called binder jetting. This uses powder, maybe sugar, maybe flour, and sprays a liquid onto it, just in the right spots to stick it together, to solidify it.
Interesting.
And then there's laser cooking, which sounds very futuristic.
It does.
It layers ingredients and uses lasers at the same time for really targeted heating. So it cooks or sets each layer as it goes. Each method opens up different doors, really.
Edible ink, laser cooking. I mean, it sounds incredible. So with these different methods, what are we actually making? What can you print right now that people might actually eat?
Oh, it's quite a range already, more than you might think. For starters, sweets are big. Really complex chocolates, intricate candies, amazing sugar designs that, honestly, a human hand just couldn't make.
Right, the super detailed stuff.
Exactly. But beyond sweets, we're seeing staples, like pasta and pizza. The printers can make custom shapes, crazy patterns. Imagine pasta shaped like, little castles or something. It makes a normal meal feel special.
Okay, that's fun. What else?
Well, a really significant area is alternative meats, plant-based stuff. These printers can lay down the plant proteins in layers to actually mimic the fibrous texture of real meat.
So getting that feel right.
Precisely. That's a huge step for plant-based food, getting beyond just flavor to the actual mouthfeel. And it's not just fancy food. There's functional food, too.
Yeah.
Like specialized soft foods for elderly people who have trouble swallowing. They can print it so it still looks like the original meal, which is great for dignity. Or meals with super precise nutrition for specific diets.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and even NASA is looking into it for long space trips, printing balanced meals light years from Earth. It's pretty wild.
From sugar art to space food. That's quite the spectrum. Okay, but let's get to it. The big question everyone has, does this stuff actually taste good? Is it delicious?
Right, the million-dollar question. And it points to a common misunderstanding, really. People think the printer somehow creates flavor, but that's not quite it. Think of the printer more like an oven or a food processor. Its main job is shape and structure. So the taste, that comes down to your ingredients, the quality you put in, and, the recipe itself, any later cooking. If you use good ingredients, tasty ingredients, the printed food will taste good. The printer doesn't magically change the inherent flavor. It's a tool for building form for texture.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So taste is ingredients. But where does the 3D printing really make a difference then? What are the other unique things about printed food?
Right. This is where it gets genuinely interesting. Because while the taste is, the taste of the ingredients, the texture and the appearance, those are totally transformed. And that changes the whole experience.
How so?
Texture is the big one. Because you're building layer by tiny layer, you get incredible control, like over how fibers line up, the density, the chewiness,
Love that.
the whole mouthfeel. You can design and create really specific textures that are just, very hard, maybe impossible to get any other way.
Precise texture control.
Exactly. And then there's appearance, the ability to make super intricate, complex designs, patterns, shapes, even little sculptures, things you just can't do by hand. And that visual appeal, it matters. Food that looks amazing can actually make you perceive the taste as better. It makes eating more fun, more engaging.
That texture control sounds almost revolutionary, maybe too perfect. Does it lose something? Maybe the natural flaws we like in food? And how does that work for the alternative meats you mentioned?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe for some dishes, that hyper-precision feels a bit unnatural, less rustic. But for alternative meats, it's actually solving a huge problem.
Yeah.
With plant-based stuff, getting that real meat fiber feel is tough. 3D printing with its layering can mimic that quite well. It's been a real step up for things like plant-based burgers or sausages, where that bite, that chewiness is just crucial. It tackled that old problem where they sometimes felt a bit mushy or uniform.
Okay, so it helps make plant-based meat feel more like real meat.
Yes, significantly. But we should be realistic, too. For really complex things, like a juicy steak, with all the marbling fat, the different muscle fibers, how it cooks, traditional cooking still wins there, for now, anyway. Replicating that kind of complex biology and how it reacts to heat, that's still a major challenge. The technology is getting there, but it's not quite there yet for everything.
Got it. So amazing visuals, precise textures, those are clear wins. But zooming out a bit, what are the really big advantages, the game-changing stuff?
Well, there are several really compelling benefits, I think. First, just the sheer design freedom. Almost unlimited shapes, structures. You could make, fun vegetable shapes for kids to get them eating healthier, or incredible personalized desserts.
Yeah, the creative side.
Definitely. Second, and this is huge, nutritional customization. You can tailor a meal's nutrition precisely. For someone with diabetes, control the sugar exactly. For an athlete, get the protein ratio just right.
Like personalized medicine, but with food.
Exactly. It's like a step towards prescriptive food. Your meal gives you exactly what your body needs. It can even help prevent health issues.
Wow.
Third is waste reduction. Because you print exactly what's needed, there's much less scrap, less food waste in the process.
That's a big plus.
Huge. And finally, sustainability. It makes it easier to use eco-friendly ingredients, things like insect protein or cultured meat. Printing can make these novel ingredients more appealing, more palatable. It helps bring them into the mainstream, which is good for the planet.
Okay, those benefits sound pretty transformative. Design, nutrition, less waste, sustainability. But let me push back a bit. It can't all be smooth sailing, surely. What are the challenges, the hurdles stopping this from being in every kitchen right now?
Oh, absolutely. You're right to ask. There are definite obstacles. One big one is time. Printing complex things can still take, quite a while. Longer than just cooking at home. It's not instant food yet.
Right, patience required.
Definitely. Then there are ingredient limitations. You can only print stuff that can be turned into a smooth paste or a fine powder. You can't just throw in a whole apple, The food needs pre-processing to become that ink.
Yeah.
That's an extra step.
Okay, so preparation is key.
Yes. And cost. That's a major one. Good printers, they're expensive. We're talking hundreds of thousands, even millions of yen for the high-end ones. Plus, the special ingredient cartridges you often need, they can be pricey too. So it's not very accessible for, say, your average home cook or even small restaurants right now.
Yeah, that initial investment is tough.
It really is. I remember reading about a cafe trying this, and the equipment cost was just too much for their business. And finally, don't underestimate cultural resistance. People have strong feelings about food, how it's made. Many are still a bit wary, maybe resistant to machine-made food. They worry it's less natural, less soulful, maybe even less healthy. That's a mental barrier we need to overcome.
So practical issues like time and cost, plus getting people comfortable with the idea, makes sense. But even with those hurdles, there are some really cool things happening now, right? What are some exciting real-world examples?
Oh, for sure. The innovation is really speeding up. Look at Wevo Foods in Austria. They launched a 3D printed salmon alternative. And the reviews are amazing, especially on the texture. People say it's incredibly close to real sashimi. That's a big deal for plant-based seafood.
Wow, printed sashimi.
Yeah. Then there's Savor Eat in Israel. They have a printer just for burgers. And it can actually adjust the fat and protein amounts based on what the customer wants, right there and then. Imagine ordering a burger tailored exactly to you.
Personalized burgers, printed on demand.
Exactly. And one more, which I find really touching, is a project in a Japanese hospital. They use 3D printing for patients who have difficulty swallowing, making soft food. But the key is they print it so it looks like a regular meal.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It really is. It helps maintain dignity, makes eating more pleasant when you can't manage normal textures. It shows the technology's human side.
From gourmet fish to vital hospital food. Okay, so looking forward now, what's next? What's on the horizon? How will taste keep evolving here? What does the future kitchen look like?
The future looks pretty exciting, actually. We expect to see much more integrated cooking. Imagine the printer not just forming the food, but also cooking it as it prints, using lasers or microwaves built right in. One step from digital file to finished dish.
Wow, print and cook all at once.
Potentially, yes. Also, expect AI to play a much bigger role. AI suggesting ingredient combos, perfect textures, flavor pairings, maybe creating totally new recipes based on huge amounts of data.
AI chefs.
Kind of. And maybe even automating advanced techniques like fermentation or aging inside the printer, getting really complex flavors. The ultimate vision, perhaps, is for the home. A future where maybe you can print top chef quality meals at home with complete control over everything: looks, taste, texture, nutrition. It's about personalization, creativity, maybe even less waste at home, too.
So wrapping this up, it really sounds like 3D printed food is moving way past that old idea of being, tasteless or just mechanical. As you said, taste really comes down to the ingredients and the recipe, like any food.
Precisely. And we're already seeing practical uses. Alternative meats with great texture, functional foods, making a real difference. It's not just a novelty. It's solving problems and creating opportunities.
So what does this mean for you listening? Imagine a future where you get to literally design your meal. Not just the shape, but the exact nutrition, your favorite taste profile, even the specific texture you love. A world where food is tailored just for you, maybe helps reduce waste, maybe uses more sustainable sources. That's a whole new food culture starting to emerge, isn't it? Definitely something interesting to chew on.